What's going on, Facebook? It's Dr. Yundrae. Listen, I have a few things I want to share with you. Single moms, I want to talk to you today about your sons. I want to talk about boys today. I want to talk about things that boys need to be aware of. So go get your sons, have them watch this video, tell them, say, look, Dr. Yundrae has something he wants to share with you, and I'm just going to talk straight, y'all. Just talk straight. Now, I'll be friendly. You know, it's going to be family friendly and all that good stuff. Of course, you know that. But I want to particularly speak to single moms raising sons. Even those of you all who are not single, these are truths about boys that you all really, I want you to really understand. Now, as you know, Dr. Yundrae, I have 4 sons and I have 1 daughter. Of course, you know, girls are totally different. I mean, you know, Madison is completely different than all of my sons. She's totally different than Yundrae. She's totally different than Vincent. She's totally different than Julian and Jonathan. Totally different. Okay, but there are some things about boys that moms need to keep, and you need to keep this in your mind. And I'm going to share this with you real quick, and so you know, if some of this kind of stings you a little bit, it's okay. It's all family friendly stuff, and it's good for you, and it's going to be good for your boys. Boys should never complain about work. Now I'm going to be looking over here because I wrote down something on my board that I'm looking at because I want to make sure I go over all these points. Boys should never complain about work. It's a huge problem when a boy is lazy. Huge problem. Huge problem. Big problem. Boys should not be lazy. All right. God did not create us. We were not born to complain about work or not want to work. Now, there will be times, young men, there will be times where you don't feel like putting these hands to work. There'll be times you may not want to work. You may not feel like it. You're not motivated. That's okay. That's fine because you're human. You're not going to always feel like getting out of the bed and going to work and doing all those things. But the day will come that you will be grown. The day will come that you will become a man. I'm not talking about 19, 21 years old, 25 years old, 26 years old. There are males that are 36 and are still not men. Okay, so being a man has nothing to do with your age. Okay, it has something to do with you being responsible. It has something to do with you prioritizing. It has something to do with you being honest with yourself. We can go on about that. So let's stay focused. I'll talk about all that stuff another time. Boys should never complain about work. You should never complain about work, man. You know, work is good. Work is what you're created to do. It's what you were born to do. You are a worker. You have to fall in love with work. These hands right here, man. These hands right here, they work. They love the work. They get up early looking for more work. See, stop praying and asking God for money. You're making a huge mistake. This goes for everybody. Ask the Lord. You better yet you're thanking him for blessing you with more work. That's the key to making more money. All right, I just gave that to you. All right, now, a boy should never complain about taking out the trash. When your son complains about taking out the trash, it's a sign that he doesn't appreciate the food that you bought and the packaging that the food came in. He does not appreciate the package that the food came in. He wants to eat the food, but he doesn't want to take out the package, the trash. He wants to eat the food and consume it and dispose of it through his body, but he doesn't want to dispose of it with the works of his hands. Something wrong with him. Something wrong with you, young man, if you don't like the work. Something wrong with you. I'm telling you this. So get your mom out your mind right now. This is Dr. Yundrae. This is Yundrae telling you this. Okay, let's go a little personal. This is Dre telling you this. Something's wrong in your mind if you don't like to work. All right? Your parents should not have to tell you to take out the trash. You already know you should take out the trash. It's the least you can do. You sleep there, you live there, you don't pay no electricity, you don't pay for no water, you don't do none of that stuff. You just live, sleep, eat, use the bathroom, use the soap, the deodorant, the tissue, the toothpaste. Did you buy your own toothpaste? Who bought that? Who bought your toothbrush? Who bought your toothbrush? All right, I'm back off y'all a little bit. All right, so keep in mind, I'm getting ready to get to the good stuff, man, because you young men, you are the future. You all are the future, and I want to make sure, I want to do my part to make sure that you all understand how powerful and strong you are. Let's move quick. The dishes. Just because you're a boy doesn't mean you don't have to wash the dishes, man. If you eat off the silverware and you use the utensils, and you're drinking out of the glass and the cup and all that type of stuff, what's wrong with you washing the dishes? If you don't have a job to wash the dishes, then you need to get a job washing dishes. You need to make that something you do in the house. Contribute to the household, whether it's washing dishes, taking out trash, cleaning your room. Nobody should have to tell you to clean your room. I'll talk about that another time because I want to get to two other points. Now, remember, if your son does not like to do these things, mom, dad, if your son, especially your son, does not like to work, you have a lazy son, you are setting him up for failure in one aspect or another in his life, whether it's through relationships, whether it's through his financial situation in his future, his career. You are setting him up. Stop setting that boy up like that. Let that boy work. He has to learn to work at home. Tell him to clean the house. Clean the house. If you ain't passing your grades, you don't get no treat. Ain't no snacks after you eat and you ain't passing, making A's and B's. What's wrong with you, man? You lost your mind. All right, number 2. Boys should know restraint. I want to talk about the restraint. These are these are just 3 things in a little game. I want to share these with you. And I'm going to get out your way and get off y'all's Facebook because I know y'all want to go surf and look at some other stuff. All right. Your son should understand restraint. Teach your son restraint. Now, there are times that if I know my sons are getting worked up about a situation, they're getting frustrated, they're trying to explain their side of the story, they feel helpless, they feel like, whatever daddy says is going to be the last say so anyway. And sometimes boys get, you have to respect when a boy, when that little man is kind of trying to puff his chest out. When he starts doing that with his attitude, it's very important to teach your son restraint. Teach your sons to put their hands in front of them like this, okay? Tell them to put their hands in front of them and listen. And you may want to stop telling your sons to shut up. I hear y'all. Y'all like, nah, I just tell them to shut up. Okay, well, what happens is you are provoking him to anger, all right? There's a little man that's being developed in him. So what you have to do is remember, he's not always going to be 16, 17, 12, and 5. And to you women who love to slap your sons around, you like to slap them in the face and slap them upside the head and all that kind of stuff. You are provoking that boy to anger and rage. Please understand what you're doing. All right? Don't mess with the young man in him because then he'll be trying to act tough with everybody else. And he may pick the wrong boy to act tough with and get his head whipped like what? Get caught with a couple 2, 3 pieces. All right, now listen to me. Now what you want to do is teach them restraint. Teach your sons to put their hands behind their back and talk to them in love and tell them to put their hands behind their back. They have to trust you that you're not going to violate that little man in them. They have to trust you that you're not going to push them and provoke them and slap them and pull their hair and all that kind of stuff. Until you parents who you get extreme when you discipline your children. I want to tell you something. God is very particular about children. For every time you lay your hands on that child when in the wrong spirit, the Lord's going to deal with you. He's going to deal with you, and he knows how to deal with you. Remember, you're going to grow old one day, and somebody may be slapping you around in the senior citizen home or in the retirement center, wherever you end up, whether it's in a hospital bed. Someone is going to take advantage of you when you are vulnerable. Keep your hands off of abusing those children. I'm going to leave that alone because we can go somewhere else with that. All right, I've said that enough. Now listen, make it right with your kids if you've done it. Go apologize to your kids and tell them, say, look, mama, sorry. I was very frustrated. I was angry. It wasn't right. What I did was wrong. Be accountable. Teach them being accountable. Let's move on. Their hands in front of them, their hands behind them, and when you're speaking to correct them. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to promote temperance in the heart of your son. It's going to promote some temperance, whereby he will have a better temper. You'll see an increase in his temper. You will begin to filter out that rage, that anger. If you're a single mom and you're raising boys, every boy does not know how to articulate his emotions and feelings concerning how he thinks about his dad. Whether he just wants to hurt his dad, or I went through that, or if he feels that if he's missing his dad and doesn't realize how much he's missing his dad. And so that's not a time, those stages where your son that 10, that 9 through 13 and 13 through 18, where they're developing. Be very respectful to your children, especially your sons in that age, because you don't want to sow those seeds of rage and anger in them. It's going to teach them also how to be more respectful. It's going to teach them how to submit more. The submission will be better in their hearts towards you. When you speak, they'll listen more. They'll be quiet when you say, son, just hold on, let mama finish speaking. Because that's dishonor when you're speaking and your children are speaking back to you while you're speaking. See, we don't tolerate foolishness. See, that's what gets you slapped around a little bit and get you, put in your place. All right. And, get a couple pieces of leather and call them Mr. and Mrs. Act Right, and then they'll act right. So for those of y'all who just want to talk nice to boys and be friendly with them, remember, these are young boys who are going to grow to be men. Now, you don't want a man. We already deal with enough as men as it is, and particularly African American men. That's a whole other different story. But you want to make sure that you do your part to make sure that your son's mind is where it needs to be. Last thing, establish that when your son receives money, a gift or anything, if he receives anything that's monetary, he should give some to you. All right? You need to teach them. Now, I know some of them boys right now, I know y'all looking and saying, man, what? Man, no, I ain't got to do all that, man. That's my money. All right, well, you're dealing with a selfish son. If your son cannot receive money and turn around and be a blessing to you, you got a selfish, knothead, ungrateful, spiteful, bitter, ignorant son. All right, I said that to you, young man. So if y'all listen to that, you take that up with me. I'm letting you know you're being very ignorant. Your parents wiped your butt. And I said butt. They wiped your butt when you were born all the way to the time to when you were doing it on your own. And even when you started wiping your own bottom, you didn't do a good job. And they still had to clean your dirty underwear. They still had to come in and wipe you and help you. Are y'all listening to me? Every time you were sick in the hospital, every time you had a cold or fever, your parent was there. Your mom and your dad was there. Somebody was there for you. And you got the nerve to receive something that you can sow seed back into your parents' life and give them something. You don't want to do it. So if you get $20, you should give your mom $3. You should give her $5. You understand? Take care of your mom. Spoil your mom. Show some love towards your mom. You ungrateful, big-headed little boy. All right. So this is what y'all need to do. Make sure you teach your sons. Teach them love. When you're loving on them, make sure you communicate to them and let them know, hey, the day will come, mama's going to need this back. The day's going to come, dad's going to need this back. All right? You let them know. Every time you take them shopping, say, listen, I want you to remember this. I'm going to be old one day. Now, come get me and take me shopping. Teach them this. All right? And when you're talking to them, educate them. Let them know what this is what all parenting is about. It's about teaching. It's about love. It's about discipline. So many different things. And none of us are perfect. And your children did not come with an instruction manual, so you're not gonna understand everything about your kids. Sometimes they're gonna do stuff that's gonna just blow your mind, like what? And then kids, sons, especially sons, remember something. Don't be so hard on your parents, especially if your mom is a single mom, or if you're living with your dad, he's a single dad, or if they're divorced, whatever the case may be. Parents did not come with an instruction manual. You all are growing together. Okay, so have mercy on them when they make mistakes. Love them. Show them that you can be forgiven. Stop holding a grudge with your mom because you didn't get those little stupid shoes you wanted. Tennis shoes. What's wrong with you? You upset. You having a pity party because you can't get no tennis shoes. I can't get no tennis shoes. I can't get no tennis shoes. You better stop acting like that, man. Come on, man. Man up. Come on. Let the man in you come up, man. All right? Now that's what you do. And do a good job at helping your mom cleaning up. Y'all do what y'all supposed to do, man. Much love. And you're going to be greatly successful. Apply these things in your life and show love. Be honorable.